Like a vampire, I don't need to know you. Come with me, I'll show you. You can find me backstage, I'm a party with a Nicolas Cage. Girl, I want the body, you know you got a body like Nicolas Cage. You ain't gotta be scared, you ain't gotta be afraid, baby. It's just you and me alone tonight with Nicolas Cage.
Welcome back to Late Night Cage Fight. We are talking about Spider-Noir, the new Nick Cage series on Amazon right now. I'm Cage Fighter Reese. I'm here with Cage Fighter Steve and Cage Fighter Sean. Steve, are you okay if I refer to us as cage fighters?
Yeah. Cage fighters. That's what we are. Why would you think we're anything other than that? Do you have something you want to recommend?
No, I have nothing to recommend. It's just I realized this isn't a normal review episode for us, because we're talking about an entire season of a series.
We could be cage spiders, kind of like cage spiders, but for the cage.
Cage fighters, cage spiders.
That's right.
I kind of
see what you did there.
Yeah, we have all our legs and the different like TV shows and episodes. I don't know. I'm visualizing something.
Well, Steve has 3 legs.
I forgot about that. How could I forget about your 3 legs?
It's true.
Were you bitten by a radioactive spider? Were you bitten by a mutated man who was being experimented on in a basement?
Close. It wasn't a spider. It was actually a it was kind of like a worm.
Oh no!
Earthworm.
Oh no! Are you gonna be one of the meta-humans? Is that what they're called? Or meta? I don't know. Metaverse? Meta-men?
You talking like Zuckerberg?
No, definitely not. I don't want to start this episode talking about Zuckerberg. In fact, I am almost convinced. I'm almost thinking to just restart everything from the top. But we've already had a late start, and so this is going in. So
fun.
Yeah, it's done.
We will not be reviewing the Social Requiem, by the way.
No. I don't even know. Social Requiem?
Yeah, Requiem for a Facebook.
Stop it. Stop it. All right. Spider-Noir is an American superhero series. American. Got that? That's underlined here.
America.
Developed by Oren Uziel. Don't know if that's how you say that name, but that's a cool name. For MGM Plus and Prime Video. Based on Marvel Comics, featuring the character Spider-Man Noir, which I first saw him in the Spider-Man, is it Into the Spider-Verse, or was that one the sequel?
I think Into the Spider-Verse, and
yeah,
there's another one.
Okay.
I forget.
That was the first one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I thought you were gonna say the Xbox 360 game, Shattered Dimensions.
That's right. The Xbox game Shattered Dimensions, where you can play as Spider-Man Noir and shatter some dimensions. Best sequel to Cotton Club ever. Am I wrong? I mean, it's
true.
First episode, I'm like, this is Cotton Club. We got the musical numbers. You can watch it in black and white. You got the gangsters.
That brings up a good point. Which version do you guys watch?
That's true.
All of them.
Well, I mean the black and white or the color.
Yeah.
Oh. So I actually switched off. I started with color, and then I feel like people online bullied me into switching to black and white. And honestly, I don't know if it was the best decision, because like the color version is very visually striking, and like there's a lot of attention paid to the use of color, because they knew that they wanted to release it in black and white. So
yeah, I did not give in to temptation, and I watched it all in color.
Yeah, I did full color too.
I'm kind of reluctant to just drop this on you, how I felt about the show, but I'm just going to do it now. I enjoyed this series so much that I honestly want to go back and watch it again in black and white. I didn't watch a single one in black and white, but I saw, you know how they have the trailer, that one trailer in black and white. I thought it looked really cool.
I didn't hate it. I really enjoyed it, but I do have like a handful of critical things to say about it.
Yeah, I think honestly I was kind of a bit middle of the road on it. I think from a performance standpoint, as well as a like cinematography standpoint, I thought it was very well done, like well produced, well acted. Mm-hmm. I think the main thing that I was less excited about was just the plot.
Okay. Yeah,
that's the majority of my things. I feel like there's a lot of canonical issues.
Oh, canonical. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing with my assessment, and from my perspective, when it comes to the enjoyment factor, I'm not like a superhero guy, as you guys know. And so I don't know, I'm not that familiar with the character other than playing Xbox, obviously. I'm not familiar with like the Spider-Man canon outside the few movies that I've seen back in the day. And I'm also not that familiar with the old-timey movies that inspired this show. Mm-hmm. You know, like I've seen Maltese Falcon, I've seen The Big Sleep. A couple of these I have seen and I think are interesting. Like they're good movies, but what I'm trying to get at is when I go back and watch these movies today, I very quickly get bored. And maybe that's just saying something about me as a viewer, as a consumer of media. But when it comes to the style, I really respect the style of it. You know, I like the old black and white look, and I think that the characters in noir films are always really cool, you know, and they did a great job at bringing that cool factor into Spider-Man, into Spider-Noir with, constantly smoking, and the hero is not really a hero, you know, he's down on his luck, and you can't trust anybody, right? All those themes, I think, were reflected extremely well in this show, and the payoff was good enough to have someone like me who's not really into a lot of these themes outside of the world that's constructed here really enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think that when it comes to paying homage to some of those older films, I think that this did a very good job. I think that like aesthetically and just like the way that a lot of the characters were portrayed were pretty accurate to that time. And I will say, I do think that like Nick's performance at times was a bit almost like a little hammy in terms of him trying to do like the old school detective type voice, right. A little on the nose at times, but you could tell that he was having fun with it.
Yeah, I believe while this was in development, in another episode of ours, Steve had told us that Nick Cage said in an interview that he was channeling Humphrey Bogart and Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
For this role. And it's like, okay, yeah, I definitely see that. in the performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll start off talking about Nick Cage specifically, how we feel about his performance, his screen time, because I had a lot of reservations about that going into the series. I was worried that we wouldn't get enough Cage on screen, that there would be some Cage, but a lot of guy in costume fighting with a Cage voiceover. And we ended up getting quite the opposite, a whole lot of Cage, and I thought a very tasteful use of the Spider-Man Noir character and costume. And I just really like the whole idea that he doesn't want to be Spider-Man, and he's often not very good at it, right? And this idea that he's aging.
He gets his ass kicked.
Yeah, he gets his ass kicked a lot. And when he uses the web too much, right, and then he can't do the web slinging thing because he's already used it up, right? It's a Spider-Man thing, but I thought that was cool how they incorporated it in the series.
It happens all the time with older spiders.
All right, I want to hear from you. How did you feel about his performance and his take on the character? Because we have to keep in mind that I believe he was also executive producer of this show.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I am pretty sure that, I forget if it was the color version that he pushed for, but one of the versions, Nick actually pushed for them to release it that way because I think they wanted to release it only in black and white initially.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, yeah, his performance, you could definitely tell that he was having fun with it. He was really passionate about the character and also just the era, this era of films. And
right.
Yeah, overall, I mean, I think that his performance was good. He had a lot of good chemistry with Ji Jun Lee, who played Cat Hardy, which was this universe's take on the Black Cat.
Lee Jun Lee.
Yeah. Lee Jun Lee. And then also, what's his name? Lamorne Morris, who you may know from the show New Girl, who played his friend Robbie Robertson.
Right. I couldn't place where I had seen that actor before. You're right.
Yeah.
New Girl.
Yeah, a lot of good chemistry with him and also his secretary.
Yes.
His secretary was kind of almost Nick's emotional core in the movie.
Yeah. Right. Karen Rodriguez plays Janet Ruiz.
Yeah.
Janet, yeah. Great character, great performance by her. Absolutely. Yeah, I think he played off the other actors very well. We got a couple cage outs or cage out approaching scenes or sequences. At this point, I'm going to say we're just going to dive right into the spoilers.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, so my take on it too is I'd been talking to a couple of friends about watching it, and when I started watching it, they asked me how it was, and same with this as what it was with them. It's very difficult to talk about anything without potential spoilers. So the only thing I could really say about it was that I felt like Nick and Winston both really brought this comedic and fun presentation into things, and the timing of it was really well done because it kept it from getting too, I guess, noir, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anytime things just kind of got like too gritty and too slow, they would just throw in these like comedic bits or cage outs or things like that just kind of kept the ball rolling and brought the energy level back up a little bit.
True.
I feel like that part of it was like really well done from a
And
direction and pacing.
you're talking
aspect.
about Winston Silvermane's guy.
No, I'm sorry, I forget it. Robbie.
Oh, Robbie,
Robbie,
yeah.
right.
Robbie
Yeah,
Robertson.
Winston is his character from
New
New
Girl.
Girl. Yeah.
That's what confuses me. Yeah, and Winston is a very important character in this series. Completely different character. Yeah, got it. Yeah, I loved Robbie Robertson, his character, and the way that Lamorne Morris plays that character. One of my favorite.
I love the way Cage and him play off of each other too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just seeing the two of them together as a duo is both as unexpected but as interesting as things like the fucking, who was it? Jackie Chan and you know what I'm talking about, the buddy cop movies or
Rush
whatever.
Rush Hour.
Yeah. It was just like that same type of like, how does this work? But it does kind of energy.
I see. Yeah, I liked how Robbie, all the characters are pretty selfish or self-centered. Robbie, though, he really wants to do good, though, for the city, right? And like there are a couple scenes like this, but the one I'm thinking of is towards the end of the season when they're together and Robbie is trying to convince Cage, Ben Reilly is Cage's character's name, that the city needs him. Like now is the time for him to become the hero, you know? And so I think Robbie is also kind of that emotional core for Spider-Noir. I really liked his character. I love the part where he gets his old job back, right? Is it the Daily Bugle? Mm-hmm. And the the head of the paper, he asks the head of the paper, he's like, would you like me to leave the door open or closed? And what did he say? I don't remember. Whatever he said.
Open.
He said open,
Yeah,
and then
like,
he very forcefully closes the door on his way out, right?
Yeah.
Which I like is even more powerful given, you know, the time and setting of the place, because you notice a lot of things in the background of where, you know, his character may not be as welcome or respected as other characters.
Right.
That was one thing I noticed, that I felt like in some parts they touched on that, but like they didn't go like full on into it.
Yeah.
It almost felt like, I don't know, like you make that more part of the setting, or you just don't even bother including it.
Oh, I see. It felt out of place for you.
Honestly, I have to say I kind of appreciate that they didn't put more highlight on it, because I feel like a lot of shows lately have been putting so much emphasis on, you know, the social aspects of shows like this, that it draws away from the plot of what's going on with the characters, you know, of what you're there meant to watch. And it becomes more of a PSA than it does an entertainment show.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they like pointed out that it is a real issue that they're dealing with, but also didn't dwell on it.
I do also think it kind of speaks to his character that like he doesn't really let it get him down, and like, you know.
Oh yeah, he was like totally just kind of like whatever, fuck you guys every time anything like that did happen.
Yeah.
Spider-Noir was released in its entirety on May 25th, 2026 on MGM Plus in the US in color. There are 8 episodes. It was later released globally on Prime Video on May 27th in both black and white and color versions. It's received a lot of positive reviews from critics. Cage's performance has received particular praise, and the series so far has received 11 Primetime Emmy Award nominations.
Wow. So, kind of piggybacking off of the social and political aspects of it, there was something I wanted to mention from the comics that I feel like they entirely took out of the TV version. Okay. And I'm sure that some comics fans might not like this, but a big part of the original Spider-Man Noir comic was actually a lot more political in nature.
Oh.
So it was very deeply rooted in like the socio-political struggles of the Great Depression era in the 1930s. And it featured a lot more of like Spider-Man fighting against like systematic corruption, and against like early American fascism, and it even went as far as to have like Aunt May and Uncle Ben, who didn't appear in this, but they actually were like radical like socialist activists, like fighting against like, you know, the system. So that was something they completely took out of this, which I mean, I shouldn't be surprised because it is Amazon, but you know.
So let me ask you something. I have not read the comics, nor do I really know anything about them. I know probably less about this character than Reese does. But was this telling? Was this like scene set the same way as the comics, with the whole like I've been retired for a few years once I start kind of deal?
No, not to my understanding. This would have been it starts with him probably more in line to the age you would see a traditional Peter Parker.
So so it was closer to like maybe, because I guess that was kind of the impression I got, is that the TV series was almost like maybe kind of sort of after the comic kind of deal. It doesn't sound like it incorporated the comic bits, but like as far as being in the past plot, but it took place after what the comics would have.
Yeah, and I think they kind of position this as kind of its own thing. Like, I don't even think that the version of Spider-Man Noir that Cage played in the Into the Spider-Verse movies like really is in continuity with this.
100% it is. It starts out that way.
Well, wasn't
like the opening dialogue, he talks about how there was like an alternate universe and that he had met somebody, but his story takes place in just this world.
Oh,
and he doesn't have the time to deal with the other world nonsense, so he's just going to ignore it.
Yeah.
Well,
there was a lot more in that movie about, you know, him like going and fighting Nazis and stuff, which they didn't really touch on at all in this one. Well, I guess he was in war, but they didn't really talk about specifics that much.
Yeah, it's hard to say. We can only speculate if it was a studio decision or maybe Nick Cage. I think it's totally plausible that Nick Cage said, hey guys, I want to focus more on the classic noir films and style plots instead of the socio-political stuff. You know, because the first, like a good bit of this show is like kind of a confusing web of intrigue and subterfuge and people betraying people, and, you know, to a point where I kind of got confused. I had to really think who these characters were, how they were related, and who was actually betraying who. Before, before the other the meta humans kind of take more of a center stage. And then I feel like that's when the story opens up more. And that's when I actually started to like it more myself. I really enjoyed the episode Nightmare on a Gurney, episode 6, where you get the backstory for Spider-Noir, how he became the Spider. I thought was really cool. It was like a horror episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was probably one of my favorite episodes too, really kind of getting into the backstory and like almost adding in some horror elements to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Some of that is where I kind of have my like canonical questions and concerns about how things play out, because just a lot of it just seems to not make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I kind of thought that way at first, but in rereading the episode synopses, I I realized that some things just they happen very quickly, or even behind the scenes, and you kind of have to put the pieces together yourself. I think.
Well,
which I'm okay with. I would not be okay if that was the whole series, but I feel like the first few episodes were kind of like that. It's like you got to know, who is Addison, right? Who's this guy with he has powers. Is that important? Apparently it's not even that important at first. It's who hired him and why, and who he's trying to get rid of, and then why is he so powerful? How does Silvermane have so much pull in the city? It's like you got to put stuff together kind of, and I got lost in it.
Yeah, I tried to put together the whole timeline of events of everything that happened, and that's where the steps of everything don't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Okay.
It's from present tense, it sounds like it was 15 years ago is when the soldiers were rescued, right? And that's when he became the Spider, essentially.
Okay. I don't know how long ago it was, but yeah.
Well, because they mention it that he's been retired for 5, and it was 10 years before that or something.
Okay.
That they were gone. Yeah, 15 years ago, he rescues everybody. He becomes the Spider. So that means there's a 10-year period where he is the Spider in New York, running around saving people.
Okay.
Throughout that entire time, there are no other superpowered people. No one. He is the only person with powers.
Okay.
Which I guess begs the question of what the hell was he even doing that he was needed as a superhero as opposed to, being a private eye.
Okay. All right.
And
superheroes have to have supervillains. Is that your argument?
No, but again, we go further in, right? So then we've got the Doctor who has been collecting these people trying to reverse this problem.
Yeah.
That didn't start happening until her experiments started. So where were these people? How did she find out about them? And why is she doing any of this if it wasn't a problem before she started?
I see.
Because they say that the powers only emerged within the last 9 months or something.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I do think it's funny. It is kind of funny to me that the Sandman guy, Flint, his name, Flint Marco, I think.
Flint Marco.
Yeah, he's the only one that seems to really be suffering. He's like, man, my face is turning into sand. I got sand on my arms. I'm literally melting into sand. Please help me.
But it seems to be more vanity than physical pain most of the time. Yeah. I mean, the only time he seemed to be in physical pain is when he got beat up.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought that there was a part early on where he was saying his skin doesn't change back or something, so he can't use that much sand power.
Okay.
But then it seems to kind of not really be an issue later on in the show.
Right, when he literally turns into a pile of sand.
Yeah, and then it's just fine.
Yeah.
He just doesn't understand it yet, guys.
Yeah.
Well, and I can give it that he's growing and learning how to use it, the being afraid of it and then learning to control it. That's totally understandable.
You could totally tell that the special effects for the villains and stuff was an area where they didn't want to spend a lot of money. Because honestly, the villains were not that impressive. Tombstone, his Lonnie Lincoln, his makeup was pretty minimalist.
He was he's a Klingon. That's the answer.
Yeah,
he's a Klingon.
Yeah, he's a Klingon. Yeah.
Which I'm assuming he was some sort of an armadillo was his experiment thing or something.
If we're on this topic, what was Sandman? What did they mix his DNA with?
Yeah,
they did mention that there were minerals as well. I'm guessing that they did something, not necessarily a pile of sand, but I would assume that it was some sort of a rock mineral substance. That's what his thing was.
Okay.
And then they emphasized the other dude. What was his name? The fucking theatrical guy.
Megawatt.
Megawatt, but I couldn't remember his other name.
He was supposed to be Electro, but I guess that name wasn't 1930s enough.
See, I never would have known that.
But they emphasized him so much that he was definitely an electric eel, because they called out numerous times. There was an eel there. And I was like, okay, I get it. Calm down.
Which I think Electric Eels was how Electro in the comics, like in the main Spider-Man universe, actually got his powers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Lonnie Lincoln, though, is like Tombstone.
Yeah.
I mean, his whole thing is like he kind of is just a strong dude that has gray skin.
I know.
Yeah, but I mean, like, thematically, they were all supposed to, like, get them from some sort of an animal or thing or whatever. And he definitely had, like, some sort of an, armor plate. Of the only thing I can think of off the top of my head is an armadillo, but I don't know. I don't know if those are native to Nazi Germany.
Maybe they were merging humans with Pokemon.
Yes.
That was the story.
Sorry.
And then
It wasn't Germany, it was France.
And they cut that out because Nintendo and Game Freak complained. Mm-hmm. It's possible.
Yeah.
Huh. Dirk Layden is Megawatt. And when his character was introduced, I did not like him. I thought, this guy is way over the top. He just looks so funny, and he talks so old-timey. I can't stand him, but I actually I grew to kind of love his character, and then I liked the subversion of expectations when he was taken out by the train. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
See, he was my favorite, actually.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. At first I was like, I don't know, this guy just is annoying, because I feel if he didn't have his powers, he would just be annihilated.
Well, I just thought that the other kind of villainous characters were not that interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Lonnie is the one that really pissed me off the most, because he was like this super shy, very quiet guy, like afraid to talk to anybody, minding his own business. And then like he goes in and he's trying to help them, and then while they're gone, somebody else is like, "Hey, you want to come join the bad guys?" And he's like, "Yeah, fuck it, why not?"
Yeah. I guess
and I just puts on his purple suit and starts raising hell. And then they come back and they're like, "Hey, we can cure you." And he's like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll be one of the good guys then. Peace, I'm gonna go chill with my mom." It was just like the most, I don't know, like weak, random. The character development just wasn't there for me. I get the thematic idea that he was just doing it, but because none of it was really stated, of like, I'm doing this to like make money so my mom can get by when I'm gone kind of deal, or even just a line that simple, I feel like would have brought it together, but it just felt really weird.
I see. With Megawatt, I thought that he just wanted to be on stage at first. I thought he just wanted to be a performer. He's like, I'm an actor.
Yeah.
I don't want to like be a bad guy. And then it's revealed, no, actually, I don't want to work for you, Silvermane. I want to be the bad guy. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because I had a theory.
It's still the same idea. He wants to be on the stage.
I had a theory that Silvermane was secretly a superhuman too. Like that would be revealed at the end. I mean, it kind of would. I mean, it wouldn't make sense
with like the thematic Cage time. Like, how the hell was Silvermane running the city? Because at one point he did state, I pick who goes into the Merle seat every 4 years.
Right.
And like within the timeline of the last 5 years that Cage has been retired, that means that at more than one time, at some point while Cage was still the Spider with no one to stand up to him, that this dude was running the city and like controlling everything, and Cage just never stopped that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't give a fuck about Silvermane.
I just wanted to understand what gave him so much strength, especially when there was someone to stand up to him at a point.
I just felt like, I mean, there wasn't anything notable about Silvermane, and I feel like he he didn't even seem like that much of a villain. Like he was just a crime boss.
Yeah.
He didn't ever really
he was
seem
like
to
the
do
crime
anything
bosses from Boy Meets World.
Yeah, exactly. Like he never did anything that was like that overtly evil where you're like rooting against him.
First episode.
That's like Yeah, I guess so.
But I don't think they did it well, because after that, because he slit that guy's throat, right? Mm-hmm. And then after
but
that,
that's just regular crime boss stuff.
That's true.
I mean, if you're a mob boss, you slit you just call that Thursday. Like, come on.
It's just business. It's just business.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, the woodcutter has to show that he's not getting too old.
Right.
Exactly.
Brendan Gleeson is the actor's name. I like him as an actor. I mostly agree with your guys' assessment of Silvermane as a character. But I would just, every time he was in a scene, I would just tell myself, oh, okay, it's Boondock Saints again. This is a Boondock Saints Spider-Man scene. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Not that he's in Boondock Saints. I don't think he is. It's mostly his accent, right? And yeah. He is. He is.
I had to look that up.
He is.
Except that he would never make like a tree and get the fuck out of here.
He did have a role in the Beowulf CGI animated film, so we got to give him props for that.
Not as good as the Christopher Lambert Beowulf.
I know. We got to watch that one, Sean.
One of these days.
Yeah, I totally get your guys' frustrations with the
my
characters.
last complaint is what's her name? Kat.
Yeah, Kat.
I equally like her stuff is so just weird and bizarre. She comes in to try to help Flint, and then she's like, I mean, it's Cage. Who wouldn't? And then like hooks up with him, and then oh, okay, I guess I can go back to him again. I don't understand how far you've gone for no reason.
I think it's just heavily inspired by older films where characters behave this way. A big one is Chinatown with Jack Nicholson. I know you haven't seen that one, but the characters behave very similarly.
And she was another one that I expected to maybe have powers as well, because there were all those scenes of like the almost trance-like properties to her songs, and I was really expecting that to be played into something that like she was
I can see
controlling things by like her suggestions or something. I don't know.
Wow, I kind of like that. That would be interesting. If we found out that there are characters that aren't full on metahumans, but they were just like slightly tainted, and they can do.
Well, maybe that's what her thing was all along, and for whatever reason, like Silvermane wasn't affected by it.
Right. Wow. In another universe, I guess.
I was kind of surprised that they didn't give Cat Hardy more of her like Black Cat qualities, like make her. Because, I mean, Black Cat in the comics is, like, kind of... I mean, it's basically Marvel Catwoman. Like, she's kind of like a thief.
I didn't know that.
Like a femme fatale.
Yeah.
But this version of the character was very different from that original character.
I see.
Which is fine, but I feel like it almost... I don't know, it softened some of the edges that make the character compelling.
I did struggle a little bit when they introduced her character, though, because I just saw, Asian show-tuned woman singing, I swear to God, the exact same song that Kimiko sang in The Boys. And then, like, the second take on her, I was like, wait, no, that's not her. Okay.
Nice.
But there was an entire episode in The Boys where like she has something where she imagines she can speak and sing, and she's singing I think that same song. I haven't gone back and looked, but
yeah. Well, I do think the season wrapped up nicely. Ben Reilly, it appears he accepts his role as Spider-Noir. He has sacrificed his only chance at a normal life by giving away the antidote, right? Robbie Robertson, does he get his old job back, or he starts his own?
Yeah, he starts his own paper.
Yeah, there was a nice
partners with his secretary,
right?
So it's no longer just Riley; it's Riley and Ruiz.
Yeah. So with that, I just want to ask you guys, where do you think, if there's a season 2, where do you think it's going to go?
Well, Megawatt's not dead. Off-screen deaths never count. I don't even know about Silvermane.
Yeah.
Because that was such a bizarre. I mean, I was really confused. He went down into his treasure stash that he just happens to have a funhouse mirror room set up in.
The Hall of Mirrors.
She starts shooting all of them down, and then turns out to be standing like 3 feet away from him. And I'm like, okay, at this point, you didn't need to shoot every single mirror in the room.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm glad you're the one to kill me. And she's like, yup.
Yeah. It was kind of odd.
This was very anticlimactic and just felt forced, which again, I think could play into the idea that she somehow is like masterminding all of this.
Yeah.
So like, I could see this being like a second season where like she starts her own crime syndicate with Flint, and you find out that like she didn't actually kill Silvermane. He's still kicking it somewhere. And she's been the real bad guy all along. She was just manipulating him as well.
Oh man, that'd be crazy if they could pull that off. But I could see it.
I kind of wonder if in the next season they'll go in more of like the corruption in City Hall type angle.
Yeah.
Because they planted some of those seeds with the mayor,
right?
Potentially. And and just like thinking about another season, I almost like go back to like, well, what other villains could they bring in that would fit with the time period? One that might be cool, honestly, is Mysterio, who is kind of like magic themed. Like I could see them kind of going almost like Steve, you kind of gave me this idea by mentioning like Funhouse, like almost like a Funhouse aesthetic, with like how he like uses magic and like carnival imagery or something to kind of mess with Ben Reilly.
It's like Nick Cage in Next. Isn't he a magician in Next?
I mean, you say that. I went straight to season 4 Heroes, but
yeah, that's an interesting idea. It sounds cool. I'd love to see a character like that. Yeah,
I just hope they get something more interesting than Silvermane, because he honestly just did not really resonate with me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, so it just felt a little strange as an origin thing, where just to establish Cage as having done this for so long. If he was like awakening at the same time as everybody else, then. But I another funny bit I got out of the whole thing was watching Old Man Cage. I mean, he's definitely getting up there, and watching him like move around in his bit. But then seeing the Spider-Noir, like the masked guy, which I mean, we know as the viewer is a different actor. It's hilarious watching that guy go back and forth between like, web slinging and wall hanging with like this beautiful accuracy, to then remembering that he's actually an old man and having to fake it.
You know what? You just reminded me of something that did bother me in the show. The number of times he would stick himself on the ceiling and the characters would not notice him up there. They wouldn't see it. And the ceiling is not even that high. And I'm thinking like, come on. He's right. Like, you could hear his ass breathing.
Oh, like the elevator.
I was holding my breath. What's that?
The elevator, when they had both him and like another guy up there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep, elevator is another one. When he took the two, what were they? They were two trucks or cars and smashed, I think, Megawatt between them.
Oh, yeah. No, it was Sandman. That was when he turned him into a pile of sand.
That's right. That's when he vaporized Sandman. That was just like Jet Li, the one, when Jet Li grabs two motorcycles and crushes a dude between them. It was just like it. I'm sure anyone listening has no idea what I'm talking about. Go watch Jet Li, the one. I mean, it has a friggin' Disturbed soundtrack, right? At the beginning.
That wasn't helping with people knowing what you're talking about.
Jet Li finds out that he exists in every universe, and he figures out how to go from one universe to the next and kill himself, because every time he kills himself, he absorbs the power of himself in that universe, so that essentially after all of this dimension hopping, he becomes an undefeatable god. And I believe he's killed himself to the last man. And so it is kind of interesting, because it's like he is the one, or is it the one in this last universe who just so happens to be able to fight this like invincible version of himself? Is he the one who is meant to defeat himself?
Clearly you don't remember that well, because they did explain that. These were the last two.
Yeah, they were the last two. That's what I said.
Oh, well, you said you didn't know which one it was.
So are you saying that the next season has to be Nicolas Cage traveling the multiverse, killing every Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I mean, also a great next season. I'm game with that.
Well,
It'd be funny to watch Nick Cage versus Toby and Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield, yeah. But Lee Jun Lee, her last name's Lee. That kind of makes her more suspicious in my eyes. Maybe Jet Li does have some pull over the series. He's going to be a season 3 insert. I don't know. What are you guys' final thoughts on Spider-Noir? Anything you want to talk about before we wrap this thing up?
I want to know where his pig was.
The Spider Pig?
Spider Pig.
Yeah. I'll say I got a lot of enjoyment seeing Nick Cage become the Spider, like when he's doing all of those jarring movements that he can't control his limbs.
Yes, he was so great. Like those bits were so perfect for him. Like any of those. Yeah.
That was awesome.
I just hope we get a spin-off with about the weird Spider-Man thing that was in the hospital bed that bit him.
Oh my god, that thing gave me nightmares.
Yeah, that was terrifying.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, do you think they will... I don't know if it's canon in Spider-Man, but do you think that eventually he'll get the Mandy axe?
All of it.
I think
Spider-Pig, Mandy axe.
Yeah.
The guns.
That will become his ultimate weapon. The guns from what?
The
Face
guns
Off?
from
All's well that comes
the
around.
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
All's well that comes around. It's all's well that ends well. What is the one that... I don't know.
I also loved his whole take throughout the whole thing of just repeating it of the, with no power comes no responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a fun inversion.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, it's
but
fun.
The way to be able to hold on to your superpowers, canonical in the show, just get drunk all the time.
Yes.
Yep.
Because you notice
fight a bunch of guys.
The reason that they were he was able to sustain it was because of his liver, and Flint was so proud of the fact that he'd never drank, and he can't control his powers. If he had just been drinking, he'd have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! It is an anti-prohibition message.
Yeah, like everybody else was pretty sober except for Nick, and they pulled stuff out of his liver, and that's why he was able to get through. So prohibition ruins superpowers. Just it's fact.
Watch Spider-Noir, sponsored by Bud Light, on Amazon Prime.
What was he drinking? Do you know what beer? I wonder what beer.
There was no beer. He was drinking cheap whiskey because he's a cheap ass.
That's right.
But every time he was over at Silvermane's, he'd get whatever the best whiskeys he could.
In the animated one, he said he just drank egg creams, which I don't know what that is, but
Egg cream. I'm glad he didn't
eggnog.
say that in this. Eggnog. Well, he sure can keep the pounds off with all that eggnog. Damn, son. I liked all the jokes about him being poor, and all the jokes about people hating their spouses.
Yeah, just like my wife. A pig is a cow, that's just like my wife. Ah.
Oh, you can't get it up, and it's just like my husband.
I also loved the scene when he's out in the bar after he got abducted. All the guys come in and just start, oh, boo-hoo, poor Spider. He leaves the room and then just comes back out and beats the shit out of all of them for mildly sassing him.
Yes, I loved that too, and I knew you loved that as well as I watched it.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Yeah, there's some great Cage in this series already, I think. And it also makes me think that he is self-aware. He does know kind of what fans like / laugh at him about a bit. Mm-hmm. And he kind of, tongue-in-cheek.
Well, we laugh, but it really does bring me joy. I mean, I loved all of the weird, awkward movements the whole time. The way that he just...
Cage.
Yeah, the way that he just, sasses Silvermane to come up with a way to deal with the situation. He's just like, well, how do I do this? Escalate. Always escalate.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that was a fun talk. Go watch Spider-Noir right now on our favorite end of the world conglomerate, human rights abusing corporation, Amazon Prime. Go support them, I guess.
They're our
Right
official
now.
sponsor for this episode.
Our official sponsor. Yeah. But do support Nicolas Cage. That's what we're here for, supporting Nicolas Cage and everything he does. Thanks for joining me. We hope you enjoyed this discussion of Spider-Noir. Next up in the mainline reviews, we're going to be talking about The Family Man, if I remember correctly. The Family Man. Or is it The Weatherman? Oh my God, it might be The Weatherman.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Family Man was last season.
We did Family Man. Family Man. The Weatherman. He who controls the weather.
Yeah. Not to be confused with the Will Ferrell one of Anchorman.
No.
Totally different show.
Totally different. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for Spider-Noir. Thank you, and we'll catch you next time. I'm gonna cage out.
The Spider Cage out.
Cage out, sure.